The peaceful morning on my ranch was shattered by car doors slamming. A minivan had stopped at my private gate, and 4 strangers were unloading paddleboards and coolers as if they owned the place. They walked right past my private property sign, excited for their lake day. When I told them the lake wasn't public, a woman insisted they'd booked it online for $75 through Peaceful Waters Lake Access. My stomach dropped. That was my lake, one I'd never authorized anyone to rent. She showed me a booking page from the Riverside Estates HOA site, my neighboring community. And I knew immediately who was behind it: Patricia Karen Hartwell, the new HOA president. I'm David Thornton, owner of a 100-acre ranch and a private 20-acre lake I've cared for over 15 years. The HOA's boundary stops just short of my land, a blessing until Karen took charge. From day one, she'd eyed my lake like it belonged to her, hinting that it should be shared to boost community value. I declined politely every time, but Karen didn't understand the word no. Over months, she escalated, first sending letters suggesting supervised lake use, then showing up uninvited with HOA members to discuss community benefits. I refused each time. But listing my property online and charging people? That crossed every line. After sending the family away, I checked the HOA's website. There it was, a professional listing using photos of my lake, fake reviews, and pricing packages. It even named Patricia Hartwell as contact. Furious, I called my lawyer, Janet Morrison, who confirmed it was fraud, theft, and trespassing. She advised gathering evidence before striking. Within a week, more families showed up with bogus bookings. I documented everything, installed cameras, and kept notes. Meanwhile, Karen emailed me accusing me of being selfish and hurting property values. Then Janet called with big news. The Miller property, a 5-acre lot connecting Karen's land to mine, had just hit the market. That lot was strategic, the only easy access to my lake from the HOA side. Janet suggested buying it anonymously through an LLC. I agreed. Under Pine Valley Investments, I made a cash offer $20,000 above asking. The sale closed in 2 weeks, and Karen had no clue who owned it. The next morning, construction crews began building an 8-foot privacy fence along the border. Legal, up to code, and totally blocking Karen's access. By noon, her silver SUV screeched to a halt. She stormed over in yoga pants, red-faced and shouting that I was blocking community lake access. The foreman calmly told her to contact the property owner, Pine Valley Investments. Watching through my security feed with coffee in hand was the most satisfying thing I'd seen in years. She spent the rest of the day making frantic phone calls, even calling the police, who confirmed the fence was legal. That evening, she left an angry voicemail for Janet, accusing me of harassment and threatening to sue. We waited. The next day, chaos hit. 12 families arrived for Lake Day, only to find the new fence blocking entry. Karen had to refund them herself while trying to explain. By Monday, I received an official HOA notice demanding I remove the fence. They'd called an emergency board meeting. Perfect. I showed up with Janet and a thick folder of proof. The community center was packed. Karen sat smugly at the head table, thinking she had me trapped. I began, "This fence is on property I legally purchased. I have every right to fence my own land." Her face drained of color. Then I handed out documents, screenshots of her fake listing, statements from families she'd scammed, and copies of her emails. "This is fraud, theft by deception, and trespassing," I said. The board's expressions turned from confusion to outrage. When asked where the money went, Karen stammered that it was for the HOA. A member demanded proof. She couldn't produce any. Her face turned purple. Janet stood and announced we were ready to file charges unless the board took action. The meeting erupted. Karen was unanimously removed as HOA president. Word spread fast. Her real estate employer launched an ethics investigation, families demanded refunds, and the district attorney began investigating. 2 weeks later, I learned Karen had sold her home in panic, trying to buy the Miller property from Pine Valley Investments, not knowing it was mine. Janet politely declined her offer. A month later, she was charged with 17 counts of fraud and theft. She pled guilty, avoiding jail but receiving probation, 500 hours of community service, and $23,000 in fines. She vanished from RE.